Hello everybody. Let's talk about obsession while I work on a commission. Before we start, spoiler warning and trigger warning for mentions of rape and death. I've seen so many people completely miss the point. I saw a few people make an obsession dance. I honestly think that's weird and somewhat insensitive. Let me know what y'all think though. It might just be my opinion, but I don't think there should be TikTok dances for such a heavy movie. There's grape scenes, and the real Nikki was basically being tortured. I guess, at the end of the day it's just a dance, but I still find it off-putting. I've also seen a lot of people think Bear is the victim. I think if you were paying little attention, it's easy to assume he is. He's portrayed as the anxious, seemingly innocent, nice guy. We initially sympathized with him because of his cat's death. However, he didn't make a single choice that wasn't selfish. I think even how he said his wish was selfish and showed who he really was, rather than saying something like, "I wish Nikki liked me back," or "I wish Nikki and I could have a healthy relationship together." He chose to wish she'd love him more than anyone in the world. He wanted her to choose him over everyone else. When they slept together and Nikki screamed, "Bear said you came onto me," I think it's obvious that he knew the real Nikki didn't want it. He still chose to run from responsibility and put the blame on her. And the next morning absolutely made him know something was wrong. From that point forward there's no excuses, and he definitely knows what he did. Bear is selfish, and he's the real villain. I don't think he ever even loved Nikki. She lost her body identity and consent, and he chose to continue prioritizing himself. When he found out, the only way to fix it was one of their deaths. He still tried to find ways around it, like when he tried to have Ian make a wish. He bought 2 willows, and told Ian to wish that he never made a wish. With all of his actions throughout the movie, it's safe to assume he bought the second one to make another wish. He was likely planning on wishing for Nikki's love again, just with saying it differently. While there's no way of really knowing, I think it's a good assumption. I also think that it was a bit selfish for him to see Sarah. I think with how Nikki had been acting, it was obvious he'd be putting Sarah in danger. When he ultimately decided to unalive himself, I think it was just because he wanted out, not to set Nikki free, and he tried to make himself throw up after. I think that further proves that he never cared about Nikki. And when Nikki asked him to unalive her, he asked her what's so bad about being with him. She said she was never with him, and he just left her. Moving on to Nikki Real and Wish. Indy Navarrete, Nikki's actor, did absolutely phenomenal. I think all of the actors did good, even the side characters. Especially Indy Navarrete. I'm pretty sure this was her first big role, and she nailed it. I think she was perfect for the role, and she portrayed Nikki amazingly. I saw someone say it would be cringe without her, and I absolutely agree. Especially the screaming scenes, and when she walked backwards, or stood in the corner. Indy Navarrete basically had 2 roles, Role Nikki and Wish Nikki, and she did both amazing. She switched between them quick, and well enough for the audience to notice. Despite not knowing much about real Nikki, I think Nikki's character is somewhat relatable for victims. I don't think anyone would have been able to capture that as well as Indy Navarrete did. I want to talk a bit about Ian too. I've seen mixed opinions on him, and I think he was a bad friend, but not for the reasons I've seen other people say. Like, I've seen a lot of people hating on him for not making the wish, Bear said. But, realistically, nobody would believe Bear. I would have also wished for money, and think, Bear is lying. I think what makes Ian a bad friend is that he slept with his friend's crush and didn't tell him. I think it's bad enough to even flirt with someone you know your friend likes, and I think Ian should have at least told Bear after they got together. He also gave Bear bad advice, and I think he was trying to sabotage their potential relationship. However, I think not believing Bear was the most understandable thing he did. Overall, I think Obsession is a great movie. I'm not the biggest fan of horror movies anymore, but it's so well written, and the pace is good. There's no filler scenes too. Everything has importance. One of my favorite examples is when Wish Nikki gave Bear her tiger's eye. It's shown from the beginning that Nikki likes crystals a lot. Tiger's eye symbols, protection, and grounding energy. After she gave it to him, she completely lost autonomy, and it progressively got worse. There's also a theory that you see Wish Nikki's silhouette a lot to symbolize that he doesn't know the real Nikki. I really like that theory because it helps explain why Wish Nikki acts the way she does. Okay, that's all. Let me know what kind of videos y'all want to see in the future. buy every pony.